we need to recover our orientation about
Mm-hmm.
the characters a little bit. One of them is to remind you that you're in almost completely opposite circumstances. Um,
Yeah.
that we have two characters who are not in any particular danger at this point.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
are also, I'm going to shift. It would be the way we play is really, really naturalistic and really um, day by day. And that I've realized is we are just going to keep living life day by day through our characters unless I say, all right, enough, go home. Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
therefore, Helma and Lorenzo, your characters have come back to the city on, or the very large town on the side of
Yeah.
the river. And this is where the river really is a river all year long. And that it's, of course, quite an experience for Ithasha, I would think. One thing that I want to say before I talk to Sam about that journey over the next few days to get to this place is that you will note a lot of dusters. The dusters living there. Very few of them would be living in houses or, in exactly the same way as the human characters, but they are living in and among them. There are dusters. You remember that the Quail tribe wore some human clothes and had some human aspects of their culture. Now you are seeing more of a blend. Now you are seeing, I would say, the duster communities are still there, and some of them are integrated strongly into the human communities. Some of them are still a little bit separate along the river. But you are really getting a look of, oh wait, it's not just my way of life out there and the human way of life in here. That's the sort of the visual input. Did you want to say something, Helma?
Yes, if we traveled for a couple of days, I would have continued to heal both Had
Yes,
and
I read your message, and that makes a lot of
and
sense.
I
Yeah.
probably got my MP back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Nice.
completely agree about that. There's
I
been
either
plenty
can
of time.
roll while you and Sam have time to have fun for a couple of times, or we're just going to.
We will just say
Some-
that enough
otherwise.
time has gone by.
Good.
Uh-huh. And there was a spell that I really wanted to double. That's it. Soul Cage, perfectly. It's because it's a crossing.
We saw that in action, didn't we?
I do remember. Yes.
Yeah.
It was cast at the end of the
Yes, it was. Okay, we
session.
will move to that in a moment.
Horrible.
So the most important parts for Ithasha and Ferrith, we will, I think, do a hard cut to a completely new circumstance. If we look at that big city map, you will see some areas which are very clustered and very obviously active in terms of the river and the water commerce. You will also see some farmlands a little bit inland. But there are also areas which are a little more privileged looking. There's one set way up high on the hill. And so to specify, you will not be way up high on the hill, and you will not be in and among the commerce and the heavy activity of the river either. You will be in a more relaxed or more slow moving part of the general city. So I suppose that I could pick the exact spot. I was looking around for an exact spot and I kind of struggled. But perhaps I will get my mind together and choose a good one as far as the exact spot in the city itself. Where the pictures of the patio and courtyard that I provided, those are the same place that Farith started. His first sequence talking to Sisiva were there.
Yeah, okay.
So that's
Okay.
her place. Okay. So then when it comes to, so effectively you have become guests there.
Okay.
We will move to some interactions with you quite soon. Since I am always leaving Sam out, I am going to move to the point where you have been soul caged, which means that your drive and will have been taken out of you. I'm quoting the
Right.
spell description here, or the miracle description. By caging their soul, their connection with their deity or totem will be limited, decreasing their chances of calling forth miracles. That's if you had any. And then each time this target, which is, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You have been, did I give you your soul cage damage, which was to say, yes, you have been drained of 10 spirit. I believe I told you that.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
And then,
Yes.
and that's 10% as well to all skills, even though that's
Right, okay.
So at that time, you have been marched by Zadev. You have been walked by him. Come, he says, and you have to walk after him with no will of your own. And you will be taken to a place quite far away. You will have to drive yourself onto, or be forced onto, a sharpened bone which has been driven into the earth, and you will actually be impaled by it, leaning forward. And so at this point, that's going to be probably less damage than you expect, but still a fair amount. We are going to treat it. Actually, I should have done this before. I need to look up the worst spear damage for this purpose. And where is all the weaponry is what I want. Armory and supplies. Fantastic. Okay. There we go. Weapons list. Weapon name and pull. There we go. Yes. Okay. 2d6 plus 1 for something they call a spear sword. Whatever that is.
Okay.
That's precisely what I'm looking for. Oh, not very much damage, but that's 5 points of life point damage to you on top of whatever it was you had before, if any.
Yeah. So I'm at 13 right now.
Excellent. Because after a day, I mean, the soul cage will wear off, but the positioning of your body is such that it would be a remarkable feat to get yourself off of there because of how long the spear is behind you. So you are there impaled in the desert, in the wastelands, and are left there.
Oh my god.
Right. So
what happens to my to Oakmouth?
Good question.
Is he
Ms. Soul Caged had no particular will or drive to go and watch. Or to watch. Right.
Oh my god. Okay. Holy shit. So he's just T-Kev, right? That's the guy's name?
Zadev. Yeah.
Zadev. Okay. And that was a different shaman.
Right.
He's just left me way out in the desert on this thing. Okay.
And my also, god. This is an area that dusters, even dusters, wouldn't particularly live in. There's just and by human terms, almost anywhere a duster likes is unlivable or close to unlivable.
Right.
So it's a little bit hard to
Right.
describe. So it's not just more extreme, it's just ecologically not worth it. So it doesn't look
Right.
too much
Okay.
more terrible than what you would like, but ecologically the water doesn't pool there, animals don't travel there, and it's to a duster it's desolate. To a human it's like, what's the difference? Mostly. Right.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right.
So I'm sitting on this impaled and then suddenly I'm able to control my body again eventually.
Well, the soul cage will be wearing off, yes, but
Right.
but the question I have is,
Mhm.
the first thing is that if you look at the first picture that I provided, which is sort of this,
Mhm.
dramatic landscape, that's where
Yeah.
you're in.
Okay. Oh my God.
Right, you're just out there in the middle of that.
Right.
So there you go. I think that the first thing we need to do, I went and I looked up rules like drowning. I was looking for sort of terrible things that can happen to a character and what are the rules.
Right. Right.
And so the way it works is that first, the way it works, if you hit 0 life points, you don't die. You will die when and if your life points reach your spirit divided by 5. So the first thing we need to know is what is your spirit. Okay. Wait, is that right? Yes. Spirit divided by 5. Yes.
Okay.
So
I think that's a 7. Yeah, that's like about a 7.
Okay. So a -7 is your awful. That's when you depart.
When I'm just dead.
Right.
Right.
And so then the next question is, it is possible to continue losing life points while you are unconscious. That's when you are when you have reached 0. So the question is whether you will start losing points, right? And it depends on a few things that I won't go into in all their details. But this does involve a bladed weapon. And it says you will continue to lose 1 life point each round. And even though you are over 0 life points, it seems to me that the circumstances of losing those life points is exactly the same. So I'm going to say,
oh yeah, sure.
But in this case, it's not going to be each round. This is a much more psychologically brutal situation. It's every hour.
Right. Okay.
Every hour.
Okay.
So there you are, hour after hour.
Right.
And if you try to get yourself off of there, let's see if you can get yourself off of there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the question is, just bear in mind that if you turn yourself into a drake or something, you're going to take the damage all over again due to the changes in your body and the spear. It would be just like being struck with a spear again. If you try to shake it.
So how many hours do you think it would take me to be able to attempt for the first time? Like, because I'm at 13 HP right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it takes me 12 hours to gain enough ability to control myself,
well, no, the spell isn't that. The miracle isn't that strong. The miracle actually will wear off not that long afterward. So but you will be there long enough to. Did it say 1d12? No, it said 1 point. No, you'll be there long enough to lose 1 more point. So you go right ahead and lose 1 more point. And then we will see what happens when and if you struggle to get off, or if you just stay there as you see fit. And and then we will continue with the process. So
Deathstalk wants to live.
Okay.
She definitely wants to live. So I assume she's splayed out like this with the blade kind of. I'm
thinking that you are more like just standing at a 45-degree angle with the spear actually holding you up, and your arms can't touch anything.
Oh my God!
Right.
Right.
And so,
Jesus.
and if your legs are limp, but you're not, but you could try to stiffen your legs, but it won't make any difference.
Right.